According to the 4-year cycle, the Bitcoin top is now in, and that is what we need to discuss within today's update video, because the Bitcoin simulation is exactly playing out once again here, with Bitcoin topping out on exactly the 6th of October, and we are seeing fading demand in the market. So let's discuss exactly that, but we will discuss a lot more than only that, like all of the most important Bitcoin charts and price data. We will take a dive into the latest news hitting the markets here. I will give a big update on my Ethereum trading position, and of course my outlook on altcoins and altcoin season. So from there, guys, make sure to first of all subscribe to the channel and watch and like my latest YouTube videos, and then we can dive into the most important content. Since according to the 4-year cycle, the Bitcoin cycle top is now in, or it is getting very close. We can simply see this at the Bitcoin performance from off the cycle low, and now we are indeed in the topping zone where also the 2017 and the 2021 cycle ended, and Bitcoin exactly topped out on the 6th of October here. The current Bitcoin top is exactly the 6th of October, and that's repeating a simulation and pattern we've seen before. When the all-time low to the all-time high did take 1064 days, then the all-time high to the all-time low once again did take 364 days, and that pattern has exactly repeated here. So this is indeed very dangerous, and that is something we have been discussing in this other YouTube video. So also make sure to check out exactly this video here, where you do see that we indeed completed 1064 days once again, and now we are entering the period of 364 days of a potential bear market. But now I'm going to show you the chart from which I think it's going to be the most important to see when the bear market is truly going to get started, and if it's going to get started now. Since there's one level for Bitcoin that we have been defending the entire bull market, and the last time we broke below this level was in 2021, and that was indeed the start of a bear market. And once we did break back above this level, we saw the start of the bull market. And during this bull market we have retested this level quite a few times, and we've always seen a major bounce from off this level. I'm talking about the moving average 50 trend line here. Every single time we retest this level we see a major bounce higher, but once we did break below the 50 daily moving average on the weekly time frame in 2021, we did indeed saw a bear market. So once Bitcoin is going to confirm weekly closes below the 100 daily moving average, that is going to be the moment where I will say, okay, we have entered a bear market. So as long as that is not going to change here, I will stay bullish on Bitcoin, and I will expect another wave to the top side, because this level is going to be more important to me than this simulation perfectly playing out, because I don't think this has to be the case. But we also should acknowledge that indeed we are deep in the cycle, and at some moment Bitcoin is going to form a cycle top, and you can see that also on all of these cycles since the halving. We are now at 37% through the cycle since the halving, and that is indeed the moment where the Bitcoin cycles do tend to end, somewhere around those levels. But like stated, this is going to be the most important level for me. As long as Bitcoin is not going to see a weekly close below this level, I will stay bullish on Bitcoin, and I do think we could see another bounce to the top side. Signals that are showing that indeed that bounce to the top side is going to be possible are, for example, the funding rates on Binance here turning negative, which has been a major bottom signal during this entire bull market. And usually we do see those signals indeed once Bitcoin is trading closely to that 50 daily moving average on the weekly time frame. That's indeed going to be the moment where the funding rates most of the time do turn negative before eventually seeing a bounce higher. So it does correspond with my most important support level. Also, we've seen of course a major liquidation event. That's also something which did tend to create bottoms in the markets during this bull market. Basically all of these major liquidation events did mark the bottom, so I don't think it will be much different this time. We could still see a major bounce from off exactly this level. I do think there's also the potential to fill up this wick before eventually heading higher, like we saw during Black Monday and the tariffs, the first tariff crash. We could see something similar happening once again for Bitcoin, but also in that case you do want to see the bounce from off the 50 daily moving average. Otherwise we are indeed going to have a problem, but of course I will keep you guys up to date. For now, I also do see that most of the liquidity is still stacking up at the top side for Bitcoin, which is in my opinion bullish. I do think markets do tend to move to the places where the most liquidity is laying, and now obviously most of the liquidity is stacking up at the top side here. So I do think Bitcoin could be heading there next. Yesterday we also saw that Powell said that QT will be ending in the coming months. This does not mean that QE is going to start, but QT ending is still going to be bullish for Bitcoin, crypto, and most definitely altcoins, because it means there's going to be more liquidity available for altcoins and more liquidity will probably flow into altcoins. But I must say the market is reacting quite weakly on this news, which is not very bullish in my opinion, because on news like this hitting the market, you do want to see a pump or something like that for Bitcoin and the altcoin markets, but unfortunately we did not saw this happen yesterday. And now I will give a big update on my Ethereum trading position, because now I'm back in a slight profit. Basically over the last few days we have been in losses, then in profits again, then in losses again, then in profits again, but for now I'm back in a profit, which is of course quite nice. Total position size now almost 30k, because I have been buying more. Yesterday I also opened a limit order at the 3.4k level, just in case Bitcoin is going to drop lower and we are indeed going to see the fill of the wick here. Then I do think Ethereum is going to follow, and also Ethereum will see some lower prices before eventually heading higher. But with this trade I'm still betting on indeed more topside and on indeed a final wave for Ethereum. And if you do want to join me with this trading position, make sure to sign up on LBANK, where you can claim some nice bonuses also. Make sure to sign up there, and if you do want updates in real time about this trade, make sure to join the private VIP Telegram channel. You can find that one also with the link here in the description on this update video to the VIP group, because here I also have my own channel and there I'm updating more about what I'm seeing in the market. So make sure to also join there if you're getting interested in that. And from there I do now want to give my outlook on a little bit more Ethereum than altcoin season, because they are going to highly correlate with each other from here in this cycle. And I do have one major warning signal for the upcoming altcoin season. Since first of all, let's start with the short term for Ethereum. We are now trading in somewhat of a bull flag pattern, and I do think fundamentally Ethereum still looks bullish and there's still an opportunity of seeing Ethereum move higher. But in my opinion, for Ethereum to move higher, we first of all need to see a final Bitcoin wave. As long as that is not going to happen, so as long as Bitcoin is going to stay at these levels and is not going to bounce back higher, Ethereum will probably also stay lagging behind. And I don't think Ethereum is going to make new all-time highs if Bitcoin is just going to consolidate here, me personally. Also, I do think if Ethereum is not going to make a final wave up to the 5k level and sustain a move above the 5k level, that's also going to be a major warning signal for altcoins, because I do think this is the period for altcoins where indeed the most amount of money is going to get made and where we will see a lot of opportunities with altcoins. If we are indeed not going to hit those levels, so 5k and above, then it's going to be a problem for altcoins, because then I think we won't see a major altcoin season. But luckily I do still think that Ethereum is going to see another wave higher, breaking out of the bull flag, once bouncing from off the bull market support band. And last time we saw that happening for ETH, we saw a major move to the top side, and that will probably send ETH to the 5.3k and the 6.4k level, because that corresponds with the Fibonacci retracement levels, and we do know that those levels have been very trustworthy during the entire Ethereum move up. The Fibonacci levels have always corresponded with major support or resistance in the market in this entire move up. So I don't think it's going to be any different, and at the 5.4k and 6.3k levels I will be taking some profits on my Ethereum trading position also. So looking at the Bitcoin dominance, I think it would look something like this, with Bitcoin first of all taking the lead once again, then the Bitcoin dominance getting rejected here, then Ethereum taking the lead, more money flowing to ETH, and then eventually altcoins. That is how it should go. And if it's not going to go like this, of course I will keep you guys up to date, but this is my current prediction. And yeah, we have been predicting this for a long time on the channel, but now I do want to make it a little bit more specific with my exact levels for ETH, Bitcoin and the upcoming altcoin season. So this is what I currently think. Of course, now we are definitely not in an altcoin season yet, so it is going to be a good opportunity to accumulate more if you indeed still believe in altcoin season, a final wave for Bitcoin and a final wave for Ethereum. On a yearly perspective, we are indeed also not close to an altcoin season yet, and that means there's still a lot of potential left. Looking at the 2017 and 2021 cycle tops for altcoin season, and now eventually the altcoin season index is even back at the Bitcoin yearly levels, which means that there is still a lot of opportunity here. And guys, that was it for today's update video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's update video, and then I will see you guys within my next update video tomorrow.